Well, I'm going to say my name again. It's Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey Childers, and I'm married to Childers. The twins were deceased. They were killed by their mother. They were born out of wedlock, and I grew up thinking that horrible woman, well, I never bought it that she was my mother, but I was always told that. My mother was Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, married to the real King Edward VIII. And I've listened to videos, and by the way, if the person that, you know who I'm talking about, the subscriber, I like you, so I don't mean this in any way to you, but I've viewed a lot of videos, and this last one, let me put it that way, makes my blood boil. I've heard so much derogatory lies. The British have paid a price. They were the ones that came to this country in the beginning, if you Americans care to remember. You called it a revolution. I call it theft and stealing, and then you're going to come, there's always a comeback. Then you're going to come back and say, well, you took it from the Indians. I happen to like the Indians. And by the way, I'd like for you Americans to look at the Indians. You talk about civil rights. I've not had one. You've tortured me from day one when you took me. And look at the Indians. What rights do they have? And how many years ago was this? So when you take over a government, you call it a revolution, that you're the good guy, when in fact you're nothing but terrorists, killers, and murderers, and thieves. Every dirty, rotten, oh boy. I lived my life, 75 years of it, and when you speak of the British, and you down some Germans, and tell lies about them, that I know are lies because I did walk in my shoes, and I've lived among you, and believe you me, it's not just federal agencies. You know who's the cause of it all? The American citizens who were living good, and they let it happen, and they enjoyed it. Believe me, they enjoyed it. As long as they're comfortable, they're fine with their crimes. My hope is that I live long enough to tell this in front of the whole world. And you know what? You can't disprove it then, because it happened. Day by day by day, names, places, everything. It happened. You can't disprove it. And if you think I would ever forgive at this point, my problem was being born and you all kidnapping me, and I paid for America's crimes. So please don't blame your crimes on me or blame your crimes on the British or the Germans. You've gone out and you have screwed the world. And I know that you're not going to like me for this. You can kill people, but I can't use that word to describe a bunch of killers. You have done everything in the book to me, and the rest of a lot of the other countries, and I don't know if they realize it or can do anything about it or not. But the one thing you can't disprove, if it's ever put before the world, is my testimony. And I'm talking really to the Americans here, and I put a lot of videos on here. I've tried to tell a story. It makes my blood boil when I just hear the video and see the lies that are being told on it. I'm not going to mention him. I'm not going to give him the credit. But I hope I get to tell the truth, my life.